ladder, yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Mayegun diary politico, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. This one not dey off in mind, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. Person wey dey do evil no wan make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too dey talk. He too dey talk. Say Mayegun diary, he dey hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman pikin dey the street dey hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Mayegun don come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo. Mayegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one.
Hello there.
Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Mayegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun live.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary.
Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are watching from. Remember, read the caption of this broadcast. Read the description as well. Share the broadcast. Invite your friends and invite your not so friendly friends and tell them Mayegun is live.
Kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun, Mayegun diary, Mayegun number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹ́gọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary.
Martinelli.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀.
Martinelli.
Dòdòdò.
Martinelli. Àwọn èèyàn Mayegun. Good evening to you.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Mayegun ti dé.
Mo ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Mayegun ti dé.
And I know never begins a sentence. It always comes at the end of it. The Shege Banza, the Shege Pro Max, whatever you want to call it. I have been, been troubled with the noise of those who were shouting, "Àwọn ló kàn, ẹ̀yin ló kàn, ìyà ló kàn." It was share broadcasting.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Ìgòmìnà kówó jẹ. Mayegun máa.
Finally, for the second time, Kolu has admitted that Buhari bankrupted Nigeria. Call your uncles and aunties. Tell them Mayegun today.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa mú. Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Mayegun ti dé.
All of you NYSC COP members who helped them in truncating democracy, because that's what you have done, in case if you have no idea. All of you that were paid, those of you who were champions of a tribal supremacy, at the end of the day, every one of you is crying. Ìwọ lè deny, no wahala.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa bí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rà kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Òkúra olóṣèlú.
Ojú everybody ti bó. This is not even like ojú ẹ máa bó, ojú ìwọ máa bó. Your face go peel. That one face go peel. People who wanted to see peeled faces, from those who tried to stop them from this calamity. Ojú everybody ti bó finally. Ẹkún yín ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni o.
gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ra yìí.
Máyégún ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra yìí.
Máyégún ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra yìí.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra yìí.
Máyégún ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra yìí.
Máyégún ti dé.
Máyégún ti dé.
Mo ti dé. So good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. So if you are somebody of faith, I want you to close your eyes and say after me, to the Lagos Abobakus, Oshogbo Alimajiris, the crumb eaters, the crumb chasers, the ass lickers, the all risers. You too should close your eyes. Iko gbàdúrà. You see this Shege, it will favor you and your family, because normally Nigerians were raised to be selfish to some extent. If something is not affecting you, even if thousands are falling beside you, as a Nigerian, you are kind of conditioned to pretend that they are not happening. But here is the point. When you talk about bad leadership, when you talk about state capture, nobody is spared. Nobody. I woke up this morning. Initially, I thought it was a dream when I saw a man stoning a billboard. What could have happened? What could have gone wrong? What went wrong? So many questions, Isha. Ashekonche dream. Jigawa lo ti happen. Take a look. Just calm down, calm down. That is what you are going to face for the next 7.5 years. Everybody. You see that energy that old man was using to stone the billboard in just 6 months. By the time it gets to 2 years, it will only be, if he managed to crawl, and it's kind of have a stamina to crawl to that position, he won't have any strength to throw a stone, because he be now let's now kind of take it a bit back. I said it on this platform that if all of you were to be honest with yourselves, whether you are for APC, PDP, Labour, or any other one, you probably fly their flag. If you want to be honest with yourselves, you would never, ever participate in a charade elections without Buhari and his gang of thieves answering for the crime they have committed against Nigeria. I was sounding like a broken record to the ears of many of you. Nigeria has been bankrupted. Have you ever seen a country that printed 27 trillion naira of their own money? And the people, the next government that came in met an empty treasury. I said, those who were claiming to be running for president of Nigeria for that your charade elections, if they all want to be honest, they would never run for a president of a country like Nigeria without a total clean-up, starting with the Buhari. It sounded like I was an alarmist. I just hated Buhari. Where are those of you Ashiris Radarada Dabimoshedas? Where are those of you Luri Brukus who spent 8 years defending Buhari? Now suddenly you want to, in order to defend the Tinubu, you are now going to agree that Buhari destroyed Nigeria. Tinubu inherited a bankrupted country as your excuse, then gaslight the people. Why Tinubu does the same thing? Where are you? We are coming back to you. Ribadu said that even though they are doing everything, okay, to put Nigeria back on track, the fancy word, right? We are doing everything to put Nigeria back on track. But everything they are doing is to dip you further in the hole. And some of you are still kind of pretending that you are not seeing it. Well, if you can't see it, you will feel it. Another noise that woke me up around 10 a.m. this morning was from these people. Real life story.
Tí o bá fẹ́ ra oúnjẹ bá mú 1,000 dání wọ̀lẹ́tàlá ó bá jẹun àárọ̀ ó lè jẹ́ kó yó oúnjẹ 1,000 wọ́n tẹ́lẹ̀ ìdílé káàkan 1,000 ẹ wo kó sì lọ ẹ bá pẹ́ pò tí ó sì wo àlẹ́kùtà mọ́ wọn wọ́n ti kà má dìbò fún wọn mọ́ kọ́ gbàgbé ẹ̀.
ẹ̀yẹ̀ kí ló rọ̀ yín bàbá.
má béèrè orúkọ mi kí ló fẹ́ forúkọ mi sí.
bọ̀ ṣùgbọ́n inú ojú ìrọ̀lẹ́ iná gbé.
béèrè orúkọ mi fi mí lẹ̀ inú ojú ẹ̀ mo wà.
kọ́ bá a sọ́jà ní kókó.
ẹ wo fi mí lẹ̀.
wọ́n bá wa sọ́jà ní ẹ wo gbà yíká àti ìgbálẹ̀ láàárọ̀
ọjọ́ wo kọ́kù ti pa ká má jẹun mọ́.
sọ́jà dọ̀tí àbọ̀ fi ṣèkà fún wa.
ṣọ̀kùnrin apá wọn ni.
ẹ wo ojúwò yẹ.
ọlọ́kàn yàrá ọkọ̀ máa fẹ́ pọ̀ nàìjíríà fọ́bọ̀ ẹ̀ mẹ́fọ̀ wẹ̀ kò bí pọ̀ wá kò bí pọ̀ wá wàhálà yìí
fi ń pa wá.
àwa ọlọ́kàn yàrá ọkọ̀ máa fẹ́ pọ̀ mẹ́fọ̀ kò bí pọ̀ wá kò bí pọ̀ wá ojoojúmọ́ náà ti gbogbo ọjà wọ́n tún fi ojúwò yẹ kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ náà ká má jẹun.
Ọlọ́run nìkan ló máa gbè wá níjà a lè máa kẹ́pẹ́ ó lè máa gbè wá níjà ìbínú Ọlọ́run máa dé ẹ má yẹ kí ìbínú Ọlọ́run dé bá wọn o kẹ́kẹ́ tètè yí ọkọ yí padà sáwọn mẹ̀kúnnù bí ò sáwà kò sẹ́yìn bí ò sí àwa mẹ̀kúnnù kò sẹ́yìn ẹ má yẹ kí ìbínú Ọlọ́run dé o èdè yìí yí padà àwa ni àwọn èèyàn ojoojúmọ́ làwọn èèyàn ṣe ń kú kò dá o ẹ ṣàánú mẹ̀kúnnù o ẹ ṣàánú mẹ̀kúnnù o ẹ ṣàánú mẹ̀kúnnù o. nísìnyí àwọn onígbàmínáǹtì àmọ́ wa máa pariwo wa ojoojúmọ́ la máa ń sanwó wọlé ẹ jẹ́ ká rówó san báà bá dé bíbá àwọn ọmọ wo ìjà bẹ́ẹ̀ mi tẹ̀ ṣe wáyé ó fọ́ ni mímì lọ́kọ wọ́n dá bí pé wọ́n fara ni mí ni torí nígbà tí wọ́n sọ lánàá báyìí wọ́n ṣe ni mo ń tọ̀ sára lẹni tó ń yàgbẹ́ ní lẹ́ẹ̀mẹ́ta ni wọ́n yàgbẹ́ lánàá lọ́sàlá kí ló dé ìnira ipò jù kán ṣàánú wa tó wá ń ti ọjà kódà báyìí owó sùn wọn gbogbo ẹ̀ wọn kò ṣiṣẹ́ kò sí.
ni wọn fẹ́fọ̀ wọn ni wá lára ni látijọ́ táláyé ti dáyọ̀.
It's true. In fairness, there are those Indeed, who knows Tinubu and APC Egbekegbe, especially in Lagos, even when they were using that same Lagos as a PR, he built Lagos, he fought Atlantic Ocean. The only man would stop the Atlantic Ocean from taking over Lagos. He created Lagos, and all of those who knows him very well, they waited and they felt like they could take back the pound of flesh from Tinubu. They did not vote for him. And that is why I am not going to use the general comments on the people who are complaining, who are crying and all that, except for those who actually say themselves that they followed Yoruba Lokan, Emi Lokan. Now they have realized that when they said Yoruba Lokan, here you get, they didn't mean you. No, whether you claim to be Yoruba or no, they were not referring to you. I told you that on this platform. Yorubas, especially in Lagos, they rejected Tinubu. Don't ever forget that. They rejected him. They said those who were Yorubas who failed to follow these criminals, they were called Omoali. Don't forget, there were Yorubas that were stopped as well, attacked, because they did not look Yoruba enough. Don't forget that to these Agberos, these criminals, so as they were shooting guns, they were threatening people in their communities. If you value your life and you are not voting for us, don't come out to last, see, in that same Lagos, see, they could only get 150,000 votes for Tinubu in the Lagos. Don't let any other story change that. Oh, that's what happened though. 150,000 votes. And the Igbos that they kicked out, the Yorubas that didn't look Yorubas enough, they said if you smell good, if you look clean, that means you are not a Yoruba. This Tolori Bruku, poverty-stricken, or poverty, what do you call them? Poverty merchants. Call them poverty merchants. And Olori Bruku Mashanfani, because of trying to force Tinubu on you in February, Yorubas rejected them when they were busy chasing the Igbos and non-Yorubas from voting in Lagos. The Yorubas that voted, nearly 1 million of them, 950,000 Yorubas voted in Lagos, and they rejected Tinubu. That's the story. And that's why I don't want to use blanket statements on all of them. Okay? However, those of you who were sold Yoruba Lokan, those of you who called other Yorubas Omo Ali, today, have you not realized that the Yorubas they were talking about is not you? It is them. That is their meal ticket. They scammed you. A lot of you who would not agree that you have been scammed, and you will pay for it. You will pay, even though innocent people are also going to pay. You will pay so dearly with broken, shattered hearts. But in that your shamelessness, you are going to continue to grandstand. You will blame the devil. You will blame the people. You will blame the weather. You will blame God. You will blame everything blamable. But guess what? Like Buhari did, they will don't let me use that. They will slowly and steadily destroy your lives. And it will get to a time you will no longer be able to to kind of keep quiet too. You see, 8 years of Buhari, they use systematically, criminally, to destroy Nigeria. But guess those who suffered it most? Northern Nigeria. They told them, he is a Muslim, he is a Fulani, he is a Northerner. The moment you have a Northerner, a Fulani, a Muslim, a jihadist in charge of Nigeria, Northern Nigeria will become safer, prosperous. People will be able to go about with their normal lives. Blah, 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 blah. It didn't take them much or long to discover that Fulani Lokan. It wasn't about a Fulani. Northerner Lokan. It's not about a Northerner. And then, he's a Muslim. It's not about being Muslim. You are deceived to fly those flags and you have paid dearly. You will pay more. They are in Saudi Arabia lying to you that they are bringing billions and billions and billions and all those lies. There is nobody bringing billions to Nigeria. Nobody. Okay? Nobody is bringing any billions. No one will have their own hard-earned money and take it to Nigeria, where criminals, bagmen, drug dealers, money launderers, kidnappers are those in charge of the country, and then expect that your insurance or wherever you are coming from, they are going to give you a green light to go and put your money there. Nobody is coming to bring any money. Okay? The poverty is going to spread. It's going to spread to the point that you see all this discontentment you are seeing here and there. They are going to build up. Okay? They're going to build up. And eventually, it is going to collapse Tinubu's government. It is not wishful. A lot of you are being told they are working. They are not doing anything that has to do with the recovery of the economy of Nigeria. If you didn't believe me before, and you are still not believing me, then maybe when you finally experience it is when you are, it will be too late, kind of, but you will eventually experience it, and I won't need to convince you anymore. You removed subsidy, and that was a lie. Remember, they found another name for it. Dollar subsidy. Nigeria's foreign reserve is empty. Do you even know what that means? That your foreign reserve is empty. Giant of Africa. And you think the world don't know? You think if you now bring enough dead, what do you call it? Senile, demented Kolu to begin to say, forget about corruption. Forget all that thing that you hear about, hope is here. Hope is here. Do you really think that is what the 21st century world requires, or 21st century leadership requires? Why, the same world is reading how the poor country, a beggarly country, a country that Tinubu called, forget about the giant with elephantiasis. You know what is elephantiasis? Look at, it's like an elephant's leg. Do you know how big elephant leg is and rough and all of that? Yeah. So if you have that, your leg so empty, so heavy, and then, sort of a swollen, you won't be able to walk, or you will not even be, you won't be able to walk well, or you will not be able to walk at all. So Tinubu telling investors, forget about the elephantiasis. And what is Nigeria's elephantiasis? The likes of Tinubu and the one that handed over to him, Buhari. Their corruption, the bankruptcy of a country, is the reason why the giant is no longer even working anymore. It is completely immobile, because it's got elephantiasis. The corruption that made it crippled, as a crippled giant right now, has now gone nuclear. Somebody that met empty treasury decided to go and borrow 800 billion naira that they will share to people. Out of the 800 billion, 240 billion of it was to buy cars and settle the new lawmakers who are homeless before becoming elected as lawmakers. So to provide them houses, to provide them cars from the borrowed money, 240 billion naira. Then what happened to the rest? Oh, it's going to be cash transfer to 11 million household, 25,000 naira for them. To this day, a lot of you have not even actually asked what happened to that 800 billion. Then they made another demand, 2.17 trillion. They needed a yacht. They also needed new cars, new office, new appeal courts, new, renovation of president lodges, and the rest of that. And when you put all of that together from borrowed money, that is not going into any economy, the same economy that is belly flat right now, and people are screaming, they are crying, we are suffering, oh, we cannot eat, oh, we cannot feed, oh. But these criminals, in their heartlessness, they are still using borrowed money for their own luxury. They want a yacht, they want to maintain the presidential fleet, and hope is here. You have to work hard, you have to pray hard for the hope to come to you, and you are buying it. You are buying that. They brought criminals that are just doing the same bidding of the people that bankrupted Nigeria. Buhari bankrupted Nigeria. If you don't understand what that means, it is bigger than treason. I'll give you examples. So, for those who probably have no contextual picture of what this means, bankrupt Nigeria. How, Mayegu? I tell you, it was like a free for all, where everyone put in different plugs, and the effort is what? Is to take as much as they can, and they did. Buhari borrowed money, 150 billion US dollars, and a lot of the people don't even know how that disappeared from Nigeria economy. And the government of Nigeria, who knows Nigerians are going to pay that debt for tens of years to come. Some of them, Nigerians will pay for 87 years repayments. But because it is a cesspool of corruption, apart from the one they borrowed and they looted, the source of revenue for Nigeria, they put a total plug on it. And that plug is not a plug of those who are stealing it. It is the plug that Nigeria have no access to the revenue from their resources anymore. Do you know that that's actually happened in Nigeria for years? Usually, Nigerians were kind of accustomed to knowing how much crude oil that are produced in Nigeria and sold every day, every week and month. And Nigerians could put one and two together. What is the sales price and how much oil production happened in Nigeria under APC? Nigerians did not only lose the track of how much crude oil they were pumping from their country, and how much of such is being sold, and where is the money. Nigerians were completely blank, it's completely like a blanked out. They opened the door for oil thieves who were bringing in vessels after vessels, taking over 700,000 barrel of crude oil from Nigeria every day. And Nigeria's production dropped drastically from 2 million barrels a day to a paltry 700,000, 800,000 a day. And the criminals in Nigeria who did that to Nigeria, they didn't raise the alarm. They were not perturbed. You know what? Because they could print money. So instead of the rest of Nigeria to feel the shock of the monumental fleecing and stealing going on, they continue to borrow money and print money as long as they can share the money to the states. The noise and the effect will not really be felt. Will not be felt. Now, to make it worse, as if to say the people of Nigeria really did something terrible to these criminals. This is the worst of the worst, and you haven't seen anything yet. Here you get to make it worse when they share the money, whether it is borrowed or printed. The moment the money landed on the lap of the states, the criminal governors, 36 of them, they quickly convert the money to any forex they can see and jump on the next available private jets out of Nigeria. Then they will be sending photos and pictures to their people back in Nigeria that they are doing meeting, investors meeting, people coming to come and invest in their states, not knowing that they are actually processing the money they took away from your country, from their states. Money laundering at the highest scale. They were not going after the thieves. They were given complete free hands. DSS, EFCC, the police, the NIA, the DIA, and some other funny names they give to themselves. Okay? They looked away. While these guys amassed so much wealth that belonged to the Nigerian people, which has now made them, they have now kind of become people who have now posed a serious danger. If they care, these guys have so much money that they can topple any government in Nigeria. They can create terrorism in any part of Nigeria. They have so much money that they can continue to ruin Nigeria economy. Now, I am not in government. And I don't think, with all I think I know, outside their criminal enterprise called government, if I spend a day or two, I can draw lists of criminals who are actually meant to be charged for treason and for the hardship that all of you are suffering today. What they have done is a crime against humanity. They took everything in 8 years. I was here shouting, screaming, exposing them that all of their actions are ruining lives, especially the lives of children. I was screaming here every day. Indeed, because of their actions, and this is why you should consider this as a crime against humanity, that Nigerians should ordinarily, if there is any one of them who really care, I know they don't, I'm just saying, if they ever cared, right? It won't take them a week to draw a list of the criminals that sabotaged Nigeria, put Nigeria in this situation. Not only would they spend the rest of their lives in jail, for those that won't face death by firing squad, death sentence, like those who are going to spend the rest of their life in jail and all those charges that will come after them, right? They will lose everything that is indeed linked to them. Everything. And that will show that indeed they want to come and give you hope and rescue you. Sure, you understand now. But they are not coming to rescue you. They are coming to bury you. And you don't need to believe me. You will cry out. I will get your video and I will use it just like this to remind everyone who still believe they need to pray hard. All of you, the Ronukus, the Ronu Nazis, all of you are the fascist rogues who think this is going to be a bad dream. You are going to wake up one morning and Nigeria is going to be so great. In your illusion and your deluded mind, right? When you cry out, I will be here.
láàárọ̀ o ìjọba àgbáyé ẹ gbà wá o ẹ gbà wá o ẹni ká dìbò àdìbò fún yín tẹ́ wọlé ẹ fìyà jẹ wá o ẹja tààrà ní 30,000 ó di 70,000 kó tẹ 15,000 ó di 40,000 ẹ ṣàánú ebi ń pawọ́ ẹ má ní wá lára a lè jáde a lè jẹun o a ti wà nulẹ̀ ẹjẹ ìdọ̀là ń tàtà fi rán ọmọ ní skúlù a lè rán ọmọ skúlù bá a lè jó a lè wá sọ́jà mọ́ a lè jẹun ẹ ṣàánú ẹ má ní wá lára ara ní wá o ara ní aráàlú ẹ ṣàánú ẹ bá fara ní wá o ẹ bá sọ gbogbo èdè rọ o ọ̀tẹ̀ yìí kò dáa fún wa o ọ̀tẹ̀ yìí ó ní gbogbo òlú lára ni ọ̀tẹ̀ yìí ó ní gbogbo òlú lára ẹ má ní wá lára ẹ má fara ní wá ẹ ṣàánú wa ilé làwọn àdèjáde àdèjẹun àròwó tajà àròwó jẹun gbogbo tẹ̀ ṣe fún wa ó ní gbogbo òlú lára ẹlẹ́jọ́ ìgbòdo sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ ṣàánú wa o Tinubu ẹ ṣàánú wa o ìjọba Èkó yìí náà ẹ ṣàánú wa ẹ ṣàánú wa á ti dìbò fún yín kò yẹ kó ẹ wá ṣe báyìí fún wa Sanwó-Olú ẹ ṣàánú wa á ti dìbò fún yín gbogbo tẹ sọkọdẹ padà wá ń ṣe yìí ẹ ní wá lára ni ẹ ní ẹ máa dùn aráàlú dùn ẹ dùn wá nú ẹja ta fi ṣe gbàjọ ta fi rán wọn léwe ẹ jẹ́ ká rán wọn léwe mọ́ ẹ jẹ́ ká rán oúnjẹ jẹ ẹ ṣàánú wa ẹ ṣíjú àánú wa ẹ má ní wá lára ara ní aráàlú gbogbo ọtọ rẹ jẹ ara ní wọn àwọn tàtà náà ara ní wa ẹ ṣàánú wa o ẹ ṣàánú wa Sanwó-Olú àbọ̀ ẹ̀ Tinubu ẹ ṣàánú wa o a ti dìbò fún ẹ wá wọlé tán ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ wá ní ọmọ Yorùbá ara yín lára jẹ́ ẹ ṣe jẹ́ kí Ìgbò wọlé tí Ìgbò bá wọlé kò ní rí báyìí ṣèbí ẹ̀dá ilẹ̀ bá ṣe kí lè ṣe kankan ẹ ní kankan ṣe fún ẹni wá lára ni èmi lọ́kàn ó ti kàn yín sí tẹjọ́ mi Èkó ẹ ṣe dáadáa fún wa ẹni wá lára ni ẹ ṣe dáadáa fún ara ni wá àrùn jẹjẹ tábàtàjà kan pọ́jọ́ gbèsè ti pọ̀ ju o gbèsè pọ̀ ju ẹ ṣàánú wa ẹ ṣàánú aráàlú o ebi ń pawọ́ ẹ ṣàánú wa o tábàtàjà kan pọ́jọ́ owó ẹ ṣàánú wa o láṣẹ kẹ́ bá báyìí kẹ́ ṣàánú ẹ mú tiwa rò ẹ̀sùn kẹ́ mú tiwa rò ẹ̀sùn kẹ́ mú tiwa ẹlẹ́jọ́ Ìgbòho sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ mú tiwa rò ẹ ṣàánú wa o ẹ ṣàánú wa fún.
Kò sáànú, there is no àánú wa, kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ ṣàánú wa. You understand? These people have shown to you that they don't have empathy or sympathy or anything at all. You understand? They can only emotionally gaslight you, especially those who are willing to as well. That is even worse. Emma J. Yani. Listen to me very well, oh. For those of you who survived Buhari's 8 years, and you are living in denial of what really happened. Shori, by the time it gets to a year, and let's say 2 years, some of you, if you have not run away from Nigeria, listen to me very well, if you have not run away, some of you will be advertising your children for sale. And I'm not wishing, see, not because I'm wishing it on you. I am asking you to take a look at them. And if you don't have, because of hunger, you cannot reason well. You cannot see clearly. Shebi, you dey hear me? I am doing that reasoning. And then speaking for you. So it's just a voice now that let you know, let me let you know this. Okay? Politics is not a game. For those of you, the Ronu Nazis, those of you who are screaming, Yoruba Lokon, this one Lokon, that one Lokon. I mean, right now, I believe some of you are beginning to understand that. When it comes to the consequences of their actions, see, you are not spared, though. So, Yoruba Lokon. It is, I mean, some of you are so surprised and shocked. And I'm surprised that you are surprised. Your shock is shocking me. That you are surprised that they are no longer responding or they are no longer doing what they told you they would do. It's surprising. Your surprise is surprising me. But here is something. You see these rogues, by the time things get to, let's say, middle of 2024, then the end of 2024, okay? For those who are still alive then, okay, a lot of you will wish that the Bokwari that you wanted gone, you will pray may it come back. Ribadu said Nigeria is bankrupt. He is not lying. But Nigeria's bankruptcy is man-made. What is their intention? To arrest those that did all of this to you. There is no plan of arresting them, which means there is no reprieve coming your way. It is going to be worse and worse. And if this one is in any way triggering you and making you feel somehow, I am not sorry, but it is true. Take a listen. Tinubu and gang, who have been in that same government, be in power for 6 months, they cannot lie to you that they don't know where Nigeria's money is currently. They cannot tell you that. The reason why they will not go after the money is because if they try it, those people have enough money to what? To truncate his government. The threat to Tinubu's illegitimate government is, in fact, domicile inside the same APC. Egbekegbe. That's the big threat. Now, telling all of you to pay for that, their own corruption is now going to be up to you. How long do you think you'll be able to pay it before you give up? In, what do you call it? So they said subsidy was gone. They have the true picture of what Nigeria is right now. But they don't give a damn. And that is why, after deceiving you, especially some of you who are older people, after you bought the deceit that they were going to give your children student loan, they removed free education or free tuition from your universities. Abi, after removing that, they increased the school fees. And a lot of you who are already pressed under their economic policies, you started screaming out. Ah, hey, oh, a lot of people are going to have to drop out of school. Oh, yes, you would have to. Your children will have to drop out of school. Some of you would have to drop out of school. Absolutely. And in fact, many of you would have to drop out of school. Abi, for those who went, what happened? Are they not already burning their certificate? Because it is worthless. They are creating a country that even your certificate is as worthless as Nigeria Naira. So now, they beat up the NLC chairman, presidency. Now, it's beginning to make sense, okay? Some of those who are now championing their support for NLC strike, in an economy that is already down, no, like, they say, no, you're not supposed to kick a dying horse. Something that is already like dying. You see, go there, they kick them, they do like that. No, that is cruel. I mean, it's cruel, kind of. Nigeria is completely down. APC, they have slit the wrist of Nigeria, slit the throat. Nigeria has already, lost so much blood, bleeding out. Sure, you get economically, security-wise, gone. Abi? So what is left of Nigeria? So the NLC, who felt like, although Nigeria has become more lawless, far lawless than anyone can imagine, and their own president was beaten blue-blacky by the federal agents because of APC, Egbekegbe's effort in winning an election in a state. So they have decided, okay, they are going to shut the country down more, make the country bleed to death. the people who are already struggling. Some people are figuring out how they are going to pay the tuition of their children and all that. Well, more of the, what do you call it, all this workers' union and all of them are joining. Now I have just read that ASU, they are also declaring their support for NLC. Their own is not just because they beat the president of NLC. Their own is because they have received a circular from Tinubu's government that all institutions in Nigeria, they will be paying 40% from their earnings. Oh yeah. Egbe kini yiwa. Egbe kini yiwa. Make I explain that for you, make you understand. To those of you who are complaining that your school fees, school fees of your children, jumped by 200,